Hello, and welcome to our Create Better Health Physical Activity course. This episode is going to be over the topic of SMART goals. This is presented by Abilene-Taylor County Public Health District. First off, what are SMART goals? SMART goals is an acronym in order to help you figure out how to make your goals last. So, starting off, whenever you're going to make any sort of physical activity goal, you want to make sure that it falls into these categories. And this actually applies to making goals of different kinds as well. First off, you want to make sure that it is specific. So, focusing on one specific thing that you want to do instead of it just being like, I want to be more healthy or I want to move more. What does more look like for you? What ways can you move more? What types of movement do you like? As well as making sure that it's measurable. So going into that, like, how would you measure what more looks like? And then achievable. So you want to be able to actually achieve that goal. It's of course important to always be striving to be better. And however, actually being able to achieve goals is very important in order to make sure that you're staying motivated. If you only ever have goals that you can't achieve, then that's not going to be very motivating. And then being realistic. So, realistic within time, finances, your own personal motivations, making sure that you're staying within the realms of reality whenever you're making a goal. Partly so that you're able to achieve it and you don't just face that roadblock of being unmotivated and giving up on the goal overall. And then time bound. So, generally, you want to make sure that these goals kind of have a timeline so that you're not always pushing it off for the next day and the next day. One tip for this is to help set new goals often. Whenever you set new goals, it can help you keep on motivating to go forward. So, this is partly why it's so important to have goals that you're able to achieve so that you can set new goals after the fact. It's not just one and done. This also helps you keep track of all your accomplishments and it helps you know when to set new goals. Can be helpful is to let other people know about your goals and to write down your goals. And then for some tips and tricks over this. First off, of course, having small and realistic changes can help give you a confidence boost early on in your health journey. So some things to keep in mind is finances, time, and support. Those small realistic changes isn't something like going to the gym every single day of the week. It can be something like taking a walk during your lunch break. And once you get confident with doing those things, you can add on to it with new goals. Another great tip is to ask yourself, why do I want to take better care of myself? What is motivating you to take these steps? And something that's helpful is to write down your why for motivation, as well as maybe talking to other people about why you want to take better care of yourself. Sometimes our motivations for taking better care of ourselves might be a bit muddled. So, really going down to what the specific why is can really help build up that motivation if you ever find yourself in any sort of roadblock. Another great tip is to keep track of your progress because progress does look different to everyone. There's a lot of different things to track. It's not only things like how much are you able to lift or if you have lost weight, but it can be things like, are you committed to your routine? Have you been doing it as much as you want to? However many days that you set aside or time you set aside, are you sticking with that? Or have you been able to have an increase in movement? One way to help out this is by having some sort of fitness app or a fitness journal in order to help keep track and especially to see your progress as well as seeing your patterns. Something to keep in mind as well is that there are a lot of different types of physical activity. Some that we're going to go a bit more into later episodes that are going to cover each of these specifically. Some of those things is resistance and strength training, aerobic activity, and balance/flexibility. So resistance and strength is building up those muscles. Aerobic is usually keeping your heart healthy with things like cardio, anything that makes that heartbeat go up. And then balance and flexibility is usually just making sure that you have that range of motion and you're able to maintain balance. So if you're looking at making some of those SMART goals, maybe stick around for other episodes so you can see where exactly your goals line up with these different types of physical activity. All right, so our next episode is going to be over the topic of challenges. Thank you so much for listening.